Good morning on you. 7:45. Nolan Flores is standing by. It looks like he's on top of the lemon tree. Good morning, Nolan.
Morning, Chris.
Morning on you, my friend. And so there's a big youth summit coming up. There's a lot of like conferences. I know the G3's having theirs. Tell us a little bit about this youth summit, Mo'Na Manhoben, please.
Yeah, sure. So we're putting together this big youth summit, bringing together all these youth organizations in Guam and just youth at large to just kind of really combine their efforts, because a lot of organizations are doing a lot in their respective areas, right? But we've never brought those organizations together to figure out something that they can plan for as one whole group. So it's a big undertaking. It's never been done before. It was just an idea we came up with at the Youth Congress. We proposed it to the Lieutenant Governor, and he's been supporting us with it. So yeah.
Right. I feel like with the Youth Congress, there's been a lot of, there's definitely been more visibility than I'm used to in previous years, right? So you guys, tell us about that and this group of young people you have in the Youth Congress.
Yeah, so the Youth Congress has really kicked off this term in terms of actually getting our bills introduced at the legislature. We actually have a bill that was just passed into law by the governor. That was the Period Poverty Act. And then we also have one just last week that was passed by the legislature. So that's heading to the governor. So really just shows the ways that, an idea that originates from youth is going directly into and becoming law once it's considered by the legislature and by the governor.
How beneficial has you guys' good relationship with the administration been for the Youth Congress? Because you're right, I've been able to see that you guys have. I mean, this Period Poverty Act's not the only bill that you've been able to get onto the grown-up legislative floor, if you will.
Yeah. So both sides have been very helpful on our end, very supportive. Of course, Senator Amanda Shelton being willing to introduce these bills on our behalf in the legislature. And then we have the governor and the lieutenant governor. We have standing meetings with the lieutenant governor. So that's where we kind of bounce ideas back and forth with him. We ask him what supports we might need, right? So that's where this youth summit came from. Just proposing this idea to him and him saying, okay, let's do that. We can help you with that. So, yeah.
It says here on the flyer, youth stakeholders to brainstorm a draft and kind of come up with the youth action plan. Now, tell us a little bit about the youth action plan.
Yeah, so there currently exists the Guam Green Growth Action Framework, right, which is this big plan for Guam's future with government stakeholders, business stakeholders, and then there are youth in that plan, but there's no actual youth-centered plan. So what we're hoping to do is take the discussion and the interests, the topics, the priorities that come out of the summit and turn that into this youth action plan that is then going to be integrated into the Guam Green Growth Action Framework, so that it's really this long-term commitment.
How do you think like the issues that are important to the youth differ from the issues that are important to kind of everyone else? I mean, I would say the issues I think that are going to be a big a part of this decision 2022. Obviously, the pandemic, right? Drugs, crime, accountability, transparency. Tourism, the recovery. So, I mean, those are like the big ticket issues, right, for us grown and sexy folk. But how does it differ from what concerns the youth nowadays?
Yeah, so at our first conference, right, because this is a three-part summit. At the first conference, we told youth that they are the experts in their communities, right, in their fields and their domains. So a lot of the things that we saw in the last conference, the discussion was around a lot of like mental health things, a lot of schools. There's a craving for ways for youth to get involved, for ways for them to stay busy in their communities. So we have things like Youth Opportunities Committee that's kind of looking at how can we provide healthy alternatives to youth instead of things that they might get caught up in. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of focus on mental health, on ways we can be supportive as youth, and then also, of course, the environmental aspect of it, climate change and how that affects us here in Guam, the very real effects, and how youth are trying to get involved in doing our small part here in Guam.
Youth that want to get involved and get a seat at the table for this Mo'Na Manhoben Youth Summit 2022 workshop conference. How do they do that, Nolan?
Yeah, so I just want to invite any youth age 15 to 25, or if you're in high school and above, to come, even if just for the free food, right? Or to hang out with your friends, come and contribute. There's a lot that youth bring to the table, a lot of valuable information and experiences. So if they would like to participate, visit url.uog.edu /Manhoben, or you can also find us on Instagram at Mo'Na Manhoben, and you can see our flyer there and everything. You can sign up. It's set for this Saturday, April 9th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Westin.
All right. And so with the indoor limit 250, are you guys anticipating, are you going to meet that, exceed it, or come in right under?
We're sticking with 100 for
Okay.
this
Right on.
round. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. Thank you, Nolan.
Hagumas, thank you.
That right on 751. Nolan Flores, Mo'Na Manhoben. There you go. The Youth Summit. Joe Sir popped the graphic up there for you guys to check out. 751, Tuesday, April 5th. Customs and quarantine. Did you guys see this? Hello Kitty counterfeit shopping bags and face masks arriving from China, recently seized by a Custom and Quarantine Agency's Maritime Contraband Enforcement Team. Yeah, don't they know that our mask mandate, it's almost out the door? Yeah, you guys saw this? There's some cute Hello Kitty masks. On March 16th, the container suspected of having counterfeit items was inspected. The inspection resulted in identifying 1,625 pieces of suspected counterfeit trademark face masks. Of the various intellectual property rights items seized, notable trademark violations include various Disney, Peanuts, Charlie Brown, Sesame Street, Hello Kitty, Sanrio, and Marvel. A total of 40 non-trademark nylon bags and face masks were released to the consignee. The remaining seized items are being held by Customs for final disposition. So there you go. Not just drugs they're busting over at Customs. Hey, we're going to take a quick break. There's a new episode of Pacific Matters out with Tomas Maglotnia, and we were kind of talking about this yesterday. This episode of Pacific Matters, you know, and I mentioned drugs to Nolan as one of the big issues this election. Yeah, this latest episode of Pacific Matters looks at the state of crystal methamphetamine in the CNMI compared to Guam. And let me tell you, it's way worse here. Right off the bat, I'm going to say it's way worse here. I don't know what they're doing right in the CNMI, but maybe a little information sharing because whatever they're doing in the CNMI, we ain't doing here. That's for sure. But and one of the things in this episode of Pacific Matters that Tomas talks about, he talks about the price of a gram of crystal methamphetamine on Guam compared to what it is in the CNMI. And it is pretty glaring. In the CNMI, I think it's like $500 something. Here in Guam, I think it's, I want to say less than 100. So we'll play that new episode of Pacific Matters coming up here. It's Tuesday, April 5th. Let's take a break, and we're coming back with more of The Link, which is brought to you by Cowboy Enterprises, IT&E, and Jack in the Box. Good morning.